Hello, I am doing a video while I drive so that I can make sure that I get this in on time today. I am coming back up to the trailer and I hope that I'm going to be able to get this video uploaded without having to be near Wi-Fi, but I'm not sure I'm going to be able to do that. Anyway, so last week I talked about how I had to work hard to move out of my foster home when I was 16. When I was 15, I knew that I didn't want to stay in any foster home until I was 18. There wasn't any way that I was going to be able to adapt to life in another family as I grew up being a teenager. It's tough enough, I'm sure, to incorporate yourself in your own family, let alone having to incorporate yourself in somebody else's family. I had to take a cooking class, I took a self-defense class, I took money managing class, I also started buying my own groceries. I had my own little shelf in the fridge and my own little shelf in the cupboard, and my foster mom was helping me that way. And my social worker took me out to find a place, and I remember looking at a couple of places, basement apartments with little old ladies living upstairs, very nervous about renting to a soon-to-be 16-year-old girl. And then I was able to get into a rent geared to my income. Beautiful place, right beside the McDonald's where I would be working at. And only one other person had lived in the space before me. So it was a beautiful one-bedroom apartment. So like I talked about last week about getting hydro, I was able to get my hydro set up, and my heat was already included. Wasn't going to get cable. It was a pain in the butt getting a cell phone, let me tell you. 16-year-old trying to get a cell phone because I lived on my own, and I was, I think, the first person in PCVS besides that one guy who was in grade 10. I think I was the first person in PCVS to get a cell phone. And it was one of those ClearNet phones that was like the size of my head and had one of those antennas that pulled up. Anyway, so how the Children's Aid Society supported me is how they gave me a certain amount of money every month. I still remember, $663 a month. So that was what I got from the Children's Aid to cover absolutely everything. And my rent was geared to my income, so I only had to pay 30% of my income towards my rent, and the rest of it could go towards food and bills and stuff like that. And I was putting money aside all the time. All the time. I wasn't spending everything that I had. I actually managed to save between the age of 16 when I moved out and 21 when I got married. I actually was able to save $5,000 in my bank account over that period of time. And so CAS, they gave me the money. I also had to meet with my social worker every 3 months to do a plan of care. And a plan of care is something that you're supposed to do. Actually, no, it was every 3 months when I was in a foster home, every 6 months when I lived on my own. So I would get together with my foster mom, I'd get together with my foster mom and my social worker, and we would go over my goals. So my goals for school was to keep my grades up, to continue to do things like be in band and be involved with drama, and to keep my place clean, to cook meals, and to also maintain my job. But my plan of cares were so easy because I did everything that I was supposed to do. I always paid my bills. I missed a lot of school. I think my last report card, my last year of grade 12, I think I missed an equivalent of close to 3 months of school. I do not know how I ended up with a 79 average in grade 12. I missed, it was like 67 days of class. I don't know how I graduated. Anyway, I did. And I did very well considering. Just waving to the neighbors. And so my social worker helped keep my goals, and was bringing in the money. And also Children's Aid hooked me up with the Children's Aid Foundation, and the CAS Foundation in Halliburton paid for my braces. They paid for my braces. They paid for my school books. And I also was able to score a 3-year full scholarship to college. I had been accepted to the Child and Youth Worker program at Humber College, and I was able to score that full scholarship to help pay for me to get into college. Children's Aid really helped me with a lot. I don't know if I would be where I am today, or the person that I am today, or as educated as I am today, or my teeth is nice, if I hadn't had the Children's Aid Society. And I think it really sucks that so many people have had so many crappy experiences with them, because if it wasn't for them, I don't think I'd be alive today. So I'm really, really grateful that my social worker really supported me, and my foster parents really supported me in becoming independent, because it's what I needed to do. Even though I was 15, I knew what I wanted. I knew where I wanted to be. I knew that I could make my life better if I could just get out there and get running. And that's what I did. So thank you very much for watching, and I'll continue the story next week.